Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are on Goodfellas Podcast, Sunday Boxing Talk. It's your boy G5FTV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. And I got my main man with me, Big Bro, BFV, Boxing First Vlog, aka Blunt. What's going on, good brother?
Oh man, another great weekend of boxing. Blessed to be in the building with the great guru, and just here to chop it up and get fans what they here for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big shout out to everybody, man. Big shout out to everybody. Before we get started, man, please go subscribe to Boxing First Vlog. Big shout out to my guy Ty Finney, the legend. Unfortunately, he won't be in here today, but he said salute to the team. Big shout out to Ty Finney, the legend, man, doing big things. He's actually on the road to 1,000 subs on YouTube, so I got to get his YouTube link, and we got to get that countdown going. We definitely got to get him to 1,000 for sure. Uh, Tradition. If you in here, you can hear us. Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat. Let us know we good on the volume before we get started. Vlog, we had a lot of boxing. We had a lot of boxing this weekend. We had the zone, we had top rank, we had Pro Box TV. Big shout out to Pro Box TV. They putting together quality cards over there on Pro Box TV, man. And they, not really get a
They
lot of
long, they long. Don't them cards is long. That's for sure.
yeah.
It's like you keep talking about 3, 4 hours. So shout out
Listen,
to them for being able to keep the
hey,
lights on that
listen.
long.
Pro Box TV don't have no non televised portion. They showing everything straight up. They showing it
That
all, man. Big shout out to them for sure. Uh, Ty Finney the legend said, he said, I appreciate it, and said a one as well. He could hear us. Said he could drop the link. Yeah, definitely drop the link, man. Definitely drop the link. My guy, Scotty 70 in the building, man. Big shout out to Scotty, man. Says salute to everyone, man. Big shout out to you, family. Big shout out to you. We got so much to cover, bro. We got so much to cover. Um, you want to start? Let's start Teofimo and get that out the
that's
way.
what I was going to ask. I know I was really going to ask, like, overall, what was your biggest takeaway? Like, what stood out to you? What fight? What card? Like, just what scenario? What stood out to you?
Well, I thought Teofimo's fight it's a no-win situation for Teofimo in a fight like that. If he if he blows the guy out in the first 3, 4 rounds, they're gonna say, "Oh, it was a garbage opponent, this, that, and the third." He goes the distance, gets some rounds in, then they're gonna say, "Oh, well, you went the distance with a guy that nobody knows." Uh, so that's one of those things. It's a tricky situation, for a guy like Teofimo because we complain about guys not being active, but then you get Teofimo that takes a fight like this, basically to stay active, and he's probably going to get more criticism than praise. But the thing I took out of it, bro, is what he said after the fight. He said that he's growing out of 140 and he wants to see some action at 147. That's probably the most telling information that I took from out of that Teofimo fight. Him at 147, which is that's some news for me. That's what I took out of it. I mean, what you take out of it, bro?
I took out of it exactly what you said. It was kind of a no-win scenario, but at the same time, if you judge on what we saw after we analyzed the pre-fight lineup and the matchup, it was not good to me. You know what I mean? Like, guys putting this dude on any pound for pound list is bonkers. You know what I mean? And I've heard that here over some time, the last month or so, since I've really been back in the game, knee deep. So that being said, he's definitely not a headliner to me. To that fight over. What we need this dude on, unless he's in there against a headliner, he I don't think he can carry a card like that. You know what I mean? I didn't see anything real spectacular. It was sort of like a sparring session, really, and You kind of let the guy you was sparring with have too many moments, and now we can question you because he had too many moments. And is it because you let him have too many moments, or was he really a tough guy? You know what I mean? I, I, I don't, I don't think he was that tough per se. From what I saw, he was stubborn. That's different from being tough. You know what I mean? So, stubborn is just, you hard headed. So, being tough is you could take that and you get in yours and whoop de whoop. So he had a couple moments, but those moments to me made Teofimo questionable. That's and and then the link up between him and Nico, got to speak on that too. So things being said, and it's a little there's always kind of some friction over there at top rank between their quote unquote headliners and kind of name guys and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
that's nothing really new, but at the same time, I don't think it was his position to really speak on, especially if it's a promotion mate. You heard the promotion. It's not like you dudes gonna have a fight. Y'all in
yeah.
two different weight classes. You know what I mean? And based on what I saw last night, if y'all did fight, I fucking around had to take Nico Walsh because
Yeah,
Nico tough. Now that's toughness. That's a motherfucker
yeah.
that's tough as hell.
We gonna
So
get into that in a second. My guy Mark Nash in the building, man. Big shout out to Mark Nash, man. If you're not subscribed to Mark Nash, please subscribe to Mark Nash, man. When he goes on live, it's like late night. So he has like the entire YouTube boxing area all to himself. Big shout out to Mark Nash. He said throw him in there with my boy Brian Norman Jr. I love to see B beat the brakes off his ass. Um, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. He said, "Little buddy is that good." Well, we know Mark. We know Brian Norman from the sparring sessions that we heard. He's kind of a gym legend in a sense. He's had some really good sparring sessions with Terrence Bud Crawford, Boots Ennis, host of other guys. So he's definitely stamped in the boxing streets. I would love to see that fight. And if Teofimo's keeping it straight, top rank, it might be one of the few options that he has, to be honest with you. Mark said no buzz. Lopez couldn't even pack an arena that holds 5,000. No Lopez, pillow fisted at 140. My guy Bruce Gas in the building, man. Big shout out to Bruce Gas. Says salute, brother. Salute to you, man. Go subscribe to Bruce Gas. I say it all the time. Got one of the best channels around, man, for sure. Um, okay. And Mark Nash says no
nostalgic
buzz.
channel.
Yes, no buzz.
Nostalgic. Perfect word for that man.
Yeah, yeah. He's Bruce Gas. He does it big, man. Does it big for sure. Mark Nash says no buzz. Lopez had $25 fight tickets and still couldn't sell it out, but his fans tell Haney that he can't sell SMH. Um, and also no buzz. Lopez is a top ranked creation and hype job. His best days are behind him at 135. So I kind of want to. Oh, hold on, Scotty too. Scotty Tio can get a bag for a Cambosis rematch before he moves up. All right, so that's quite a bit to unpack. Um, with Tiafimo, I think he does everything he's supposed to do to be a star within boxing. Like he talk the talk, flashy style inside of the ring. Like if you had to craft what you need to do to possibly become a boxing star, like Teofimo Lopez does it. You know what I mean? Like he does it. But the thing is, you'll have fights like this where it's kind of just like, like what are we doing? You understand what I'm saying? And I would say probably his last maybe 3 to 4 fights, he's had about one or two where you just like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like the momentum, it's hard to build momentum when you're on top rank because it seems like it's so much political stuff going on, vlog. Like I don't know if I'm saying it right um or if I'm actually wrong in that take. It's harder to build momentum with top rank when you're kind of at the top because it seems like you got to go through like a 6 month span where you kind of just politicking with Bob and you know what I mean before you know it your momentum gone. Like what you think about that, bro?
I agree with that. It's like Bob don't want you to get but so big. Same way we can go back to what happened with Floyd. You know what I mean? He seen Floyd starting to garner the support from the actual paying fans and maybe the pundits at the time, mostly the writers and things like that from that era. Not the social media guys like us nowadays, but at that time, Floyd kind of had a different support lane, and Bob don't want guys to have that. You see how long it took Bud to really kind of crack the echelon of the paydays and really getting these mega fights. So that being said, I think the same thing for Teofimo to a certain extent, and maybe they kind of scared and don't want to lose that Puerto Rican fan base that they have garnered. So it's a tricky situation over there. I think they moving Shakur a little bit slowly. You know, what I mean, he had some decent fights, but not that guy yet. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
other people, Garcia, the Haney's, they've taken those fights. They've taken on those guys, Lomas. They've taken on those guys. So they've actually put a few people in position to be that guy, quote unquote Lomachenko. But other people, they kind of haven't, forced the issue. Did work with guys across the street and kind of made these big fights. So
Yeah.
it's a tricky promotion. They active, they got views, they got cameras, so it's a good
Yeah.
promotion. People want to know who you are, but will you really land that mega fight that kind of push you over the hump?
Scotty, I want to get into this one. Scotty said T.O. can get a bag for Cambosa's rematch before he moves up. Now, getting a bag and actually that being like a fight that's gonna capture some real attention, like it's two different things. Can he get a bag? Yes, he can get a bag. Especially if he go and see Cambosa's in his backyard, then he'll definitely get a bag. But
That's the only
outside,
way to get it back.
that's the only
That's
way
the
to
only
get
way.
a bag. Correct. Cambosis is kind of just his reputation is like he's the one hit wonder. You know what I mean? He the rapper that had one hit and that's it. You know what I mean? That's kind of him.
Oh, that nigga Rob Base. God
Yeah.
damn, I ain't never heard that before.
Yo, you know what I
Call
mean?
that nigga the
But
Rob Base of
if you
boxing.
yeah, he might be the Rob Base of boxing, man. But if you think about it, like other than that Teofimo night, like what has he done to really stand out as one of those guys? You know what I mean? Something to think about. $2 super chat from my man Mark Nash said, please match my donation and support the show. Mark Nash, I couldn't have said it any better. I gotta send half the vlog, but it is what it is, though. You know what I mean? That's the fam right there. Big
No, it's
shout out
all
to Mark
love.
Nash, man. Big
Appreciate
shout
you.
out to Mark Nash. Hey, Mark Nash, post your link for your channel in the chat, man, so people can jump on there, go subscribe, brother. And in this corner podcast, that is the link for my man Ty Finney, the legend. Definitely go over there, go subscribe to him if you're not already subscribed. Bruce Gass said, "Happy birthday, Mike Tyson." Man, happy birthday, Mike Tyson, man. One of the goats for sure, man. Big shout out to him. And let's get into Nico. Let's get into Nico. Nico had a really, really, really interesting night. He got a unanimous decision victory, but he dislocated his shoulder. He was in trouble several times in that fight, and his opponent came to scrap. Um, what was your thoughts on Nico in that fight? Matter of fact, let me get mine first. Nico got through a situation where a lot of people won't they would lose. They would lose or quit in that situation. You know what I mean? And Nico found a way to get it done. You gotta salute that. You gotta salute that at the end of the day. Now, is he raw? Yes, he's raw. Is he unpolished? Yes, he's unpolished. But he has enough going on to where you could say that he's a legit boxer with upside. You know what I mean? But to see him get through that, it's a lot of fighters that wouldn't get through that, man. Big shout out to Nico Walsh for getting through that for sure. Vlog, what you thinking on that?
As a dude that knows shoulder issues because I've been on the planet many moons and have been through many situations. I
Right.
respect his intestinal fortitude, so to speak. Because trust me, I done popped mine back in and walked back on the basketball court, went right back on the football field. So I dig that. I get that. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So um, at the same time, my question is, what what weight class can he? I respect his growth. First of all, I was a guy that wasn't really supportive of that move, but seeing what he's able to do, seeing on the competition that he's taking on, it's getting better and better. I respect his growth, man. I respect the movement. You know what I'm saying? Put some respect on his name. You know what I mean? You know, shout out to baby. You know what I'm saying? Put some
Yeah,
respect
yeah,
on his
yeah.
name. That being said, he definitely should take some time, get that looked at. Maybe not throw that left hook so long. You see what I'm saying? When he got the
Yeah.
knockdown, it was to the very extension of what you could call a left hook. You understand what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
almost looked like a straight left by the time it got home. So he gotta maybe shorten up the hooks to help with the shoulders. He maybe overworked it and can't. That's something that can, affect you too. But I think he was trying to respond with power shots in between those flurries, so that left hook was something that they concentrated on. So respect to the camp, respect to the guy, the coaches and his trainers. They kind of helping them grow a little bit. They looked at the previous fight and they saw what shot maybe could answer the flurry power that the freaking dude had. Can't pronounce his name, save my life, but Sanatuki. Um, him, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That dude is a bull. He he
Yeah.
he wild. He's very unpolished, but at the same time, you don't want to see him in the alleyway either. You feel me?
Right. Right.
You
That's
feel me?
and
So,
he was a yeah, kind of a wild puncher, short, stocky guy too. Like, you know what I mean? He definitely bouncing at a couple clubs in the front of the club, you know what I mean, during his off time for
uh,
sure.
oh yeah,
You
he
know what I
gonna
mean?
get you up out of there.
Yeah, he gonna get you about the club. He definitely gonna get you about the club, straight up. You know what I mean? But the thing about it, it goes to what you said earlier with Nico extending that left hand so much. You could probably attest that to his opponent being so short, because not only was he wild, he was getting low too. And so you gotta kind of extend it for it to reach home too. So but that's a good take though. That was a good take though. But Nico showed me something. Nico definitely showed me something for sure.
but
Derek,
but back to my question though, real quick.
mhm.
What weight class is he at 154 hovering at 160? Do you think he could cut and get down to 147 and maybe
Nah,
be a factor?
nah, I don't think
Mm.
he could cut down to 47. I'm thinking
He
54,
then
60. Mhm.
60. I don't think he got the power for 60. He early boxing. His first few fights, we saw some good foot movement. A la his grandfather, whatever. But I
Right.
don't think that's his true style. But at 60, he would definitely have to fight like that. And I don't know if that'd be 54, man. But what moves can he make at 54 on top rank, bro? Are they gonna keep just having him as a support fighter and never really give him an opportunity? Or to me, that's somebody they would send across the street.
Yeah, I think that 160 is probably good for him. Um, that's a good question, man. That's a good question. Like, where can Nico go outside of the top rank umbrella? That's a really good question. I gotta think about that. I gotta think about that because you have, hmm,
Because at this time, if you look at where he's B
mhm,
side plus, and I say B side plus based on the last name. So
mhm,
he has that in his favor. You understand what I'm saying?
mhm.
But he's not A plus. He's not A side by top rank because of his experience. So but he's marketable. You understand what I'm saying? He's right. He's
Right.
got enough experience. He might can get in with. I don't know really, but that's my question. Like, where does he go, bro? You can't keep
Well,
fighting these type of dudes.
let me throw. I'm just gonna throw a couple hypotheticals out there. Take away the political landscape and the promotional companies and all that. Does he beat Jared Hurd right now?
Man, that is honestly from the run Heard's been on. I've heard does have a very good size advantage. The dude that's possibly could fight at 168. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think he beats Hurd, but it would be a good fight though, because Hurd is not somebody that's gonna go for the gusto kill. So I think a guy like the heart we saw from last night, he gonna stick around. So, but I think Hurd could edge him on being just a little bit stronger, shots being a little bit more heavier. But it would be a scratch.
I'm thinking more so guys like that. Because if we're talking about building profile and building credibility, I throw another name at you. Terrell Gachet. Does he beat Gachet right now?
That would be an excellent fight. That's 50-50 to me. Excuse
Tony Harrison.
me. Another excellent fight. Uh, I think he can beat Harrison right now because you got to look at what they've been doing lately compared to what he's been
Good
doing.
point. Good point.
So he's kind of going upwards, acquiring more chin stability. So he's a guy whose chin has been touched on, and okay, pretty decent. I think he's been down what once, maybe once, twice at top. I think once for sure. But that being said, for sure, I think he
I,
get in with maybe a couple of these OG guys. But is that going across the street to get that done, or are these
right.
guys free and can
Right.
they
That's what I'm saying. Like
slide?
with PBC, there's more guys crossing the street now. Um, you know what? I
But
got
is
one.
it a
I
pay?
got
No,
one.
my thing is, that's the question. Would these guys take that pay cut to go over there? That's
I
my
mean,
thing. That top is top ranked, putting out a buffet to say, yo, come over here and taste and sample it. You
right.
might be able to get full over here. I don't think they doing that.
I
So, the, que- yeah, go ahead. My bad.
let me throw one more at you. Shane Mosley Jr. Does he beat Shane Mosley Jr.?
Ooh, that would be another 50-50 to me, that's definitely a 50-50 Mosley, a guy that's not crazy power wise, guy that doesn't move that much. So it's going to be, who's going to have the durability, who can land the cleaner punches, because they both are still a bit awkward. Neither guy is their predecessor, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Accurate punches, real clean with their combinations. So uh, 50-50 to me, but great fight. Name wise, great fight. Great
Yeah.
fight.
So, I don't know if Nico or his team, somebody get this to him. There's a lot of names that I think if Top Rank is really invested, I think they can pay a little extra in the bag to get these guys over and actually have these fights. I feel like all those names
You
I
know
mentioned.
they listen to these. You know they listen to this, and they
Absolutely.
listen to our outlooks and be like, "Yo, is this even a marketable fight?" Trust me,
Yeah.
the styles will make the fight marketable. You get recognizable names together. You're still building on a young prospect. You know what I'm saying? But you're stiffening up the competition, and you're also making a bigger event. So you're able to show the growth in them. Okay, if we invest in them, is it there? You don't know if it's there because you ain't really investing in him. What you're doing is putting him in a support situation. To me, he had the bigger fight of the night.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're talking. I can think of, yeah, it's about maybe 5 or 6 PBC guys just off the top of my head where they can
Man,
really
you can
make that
you
a
can grab a
situation.
couple, bro. You can grab a couple Macron dudes who they have a relationship with. You know what I'm saying? Like to come on,
Uh,
bring them over, give them a little bit more international, exposure.
Hey, bro, you know what? I'm glad you said that because I we didn't get a chance to talk about this. I don't even. I'm gonna assume that but your favorite, one of your favorite down under guys is gonna be fighting very soon.
Yeah, yeah, Beefy coming back in the game. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Respect.
yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
Liam
that's
Smith
gonna be
and Josh
Lee.
Kelly at
That's
160.
gonna be nice.
What?
That's gonna be a nice fight. That's
That's
a
a nice
backyard scrap right
fight,
there.
bro.
But I think the issue for Kelly is that movement that we know he's been able to show us a little bit of that shadow of a shoulder roll game from his welterweight days. It's gonna
Right.
be far gone. So what what's different in the bag because you're going against a dude that's pretty much coming straight forward. Either you pushing him back or he coming forward. That's the only way his fights go.
Yeah, that's a really, really interesting fight at 160 pounds. Josh
And
Kelly,
he coming off a loss.
and
So
he's coming
Beefy,
off of it, and
yeah, Beefy
he got
definitely,
dealt with in that fight too. Like so,
yeah.
um, yeah, that's an interesting fight. And they asked Josh Kelly about that, him going to 160, and they essentially said him and his manager essentially said, we think Beefy Smith is done. We catching him at the right time. Like that's essentially what they said. I agree with you though, vlog. Like it really comes down to how heavy are them feet at 160 for Josh Kelly. If them feet are heavy, he's gonna have a lot of difficulty in this fight if Liam Smith is 60 or 70% of what he usually is. But that's a
Yeah.
very interesting fight, man. I'm looking definitely looking forward to that. Does Nico beat Beefy Smith right now? That's another name.
No, no.
He don't beat
Too
Beefy
much
right now.
experience. Too
Too
much
much
experience.
experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it. The beefy to be beefy, you gotta be punching clean and accurate enough to get him going backwards. And that means having some sting on him because Beefy's only coming forward. His guard is up and he's coming forward. So if you can get around the guard, stinging while he's readjusting the guard, things of that nature, you can get him going backwards, and then you'll be able to dominate the fight, especially if you're a bigger fighter, like he kind of really recently been fighting bigger guys at 154. So 154 might not have been the greatest division for him because staying in that division, you still fighting bigger guys. So just go to 160 and get a more reasonable fight, which they were able to land. And man, perfect, perfect backyard brawl too. You know what I mean? A couple different guys from different sides of London getting in there and getting at it. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Respect what they doing on that side, man. I'm liking the fights they putting together over there, bro. I don't know if
Yeah.
they get to shine as far as we're concerned, but I think the real boxing hardcore heads, they
Yeah.
definitely paying attention to what's going on.
They putting some good situations together over there for sure. Big shout out to DM3. Big shout out to you. Said what's good, my people. What's good with you, bro? I wanted to double
Salute, man.
back real quick. Mark Nash actually made a statement. I don't even think we really touched on it. Teofimo Lopez, Brian Norman Jr. What you think about that?
That's a great fight for the for well, ain't Norman at 154?
No, 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 no. For Norman's at
No, I mean
47.
147.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 140. That's what I meant. 147. So I don't
Yes.
know if that's the type of fight you jump up and take. Oh no. Oh no. That's too much danger in that. That's like going out there fighting like a Brandon Lee and just, because you got the bigger name and whoopie whoop. You know what I mean? You think you're gonna just be able to deal with this situation that easy. Nah, I put Norman on that same level as Brandon Lee. He could be that guy that can upset the shopping cart. Have all your groceries in the parking lot.
Yeah, I think that's a great fight. If Tio was to take that, he's a dog. He's a dog for taking that fight, like for sure.
Not jumping to 147, I wouldn't. Not- Even I think they could pay somebody from some South American country at 147 to come over there and be a lighter
Right.
class
Yeah,
than they would to put. That's a
Brian
problem.
Norman is really he's a good fighter. I think to be honest with you, I wish because I know he has his I think he has his dad in his corner. That's a situation where I wish there was a second set of eyes for Brian
They
Norman. I
might
feel
have
like
it. They might no. They might have it in the gym though. You see what I mean? I'm sure Pop.
possibly.
But
You
at
might be
this
right.
time, do you? Then you got to look at it this way too. can they really afford that third eye? You know
That's
what I
true
mean?
too. That's true too. I feel like I feel like he has another level to reach from a technical standpoint. I feel like he can be better than what he is technically. Um,
He's like, you know what he reminds me of? He's like an athletic robot.
you said an
You
athletic,
know what I mean? Yeah, like you know he got a little swivel in his hips, but
right?
it don't show up consistently throughout round
I
after
see
round.
what
It
you
kind of
mean. I
shows.
see what you mean. I see what you mean. Like he's more I guess he's more capable physically than what he shows. Like he can physically put himself in better positions.
Positions,
In terms of
exactly,
his feet.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
he
he
has
kind of he
another.
moves.
He has another
Yeah, he
level.
has another gear. Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
definitely
I
got
think so.
another gear
But
for
I don't
sure.
know if his dad. I don't know if his dad is gonna get
We don't
him.
want to put that. We don't want to say that. We gotta support that. We
Oh
gotta
no, we
support
gonna
that.
support that regard. It was, but you know what though? I felt like you
I
even go
appreciate
back
the
to
critique
like
though. You gotta be honest as a boxing fan. I think you got the right to do say that somebody you feel like could maybe get another tidbit, another next level nugget from another set of eyes. I respect that view though.
I guess with fighters that have their dad in the corner, you always wonder if they had more of an established like technical mind, like how much better would they be? Like if you take let's say Danny Garcia, like right, like when Danny Garcia was on his run, he had Angel. I've watched plenty of Danny Garcia fights. How many times have you actually heard Angel Garcia like actually break down some technical shit?
To me, I'm gonna tell you a lot of the time, bro. I think the father son, unlike Mosley and his pop, that was more of the technical growth, being there to support, understanding the game. Pop still acquiring knowledge as he's going as a trainer. I think that was what you're talking about. But at the same time, a lot of the pop son relationship could be about trying to keep an eye on the money, staying close, being right there to have a bit of an overseeing position with your son. So it's more of a protective thing too. So I get what you're saying with some dads, but I think with Garcia and other fighters, I think dads are there to be more of a protective barrier too, kind of watch
That's
the
true.
money,
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? Kind of be more of a back support of the things that the fans don't see and don't have to go through. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
the pop is
because
there for that. So
yeah, and all father son situations is not the same. Like you
yeah,
take like
no
Sean
doubt.
Porter, like Kenny. I couldn't see anybody outside of Kenny Porter getting Sean Porter to the level that he got him. Like you know what I'm saying? Even with listen, even Devin Haney and Bill Haney, people criticize Bill Haney, but if you actually listen to Bill Haney in between rounds, Bill Haney is actually giving out pretty good advice in between rounds.
This is what I'm trying to, this is what I was saying about Shane Pop. I think Shane Pop grew as a trainer as his son was growing as a fighter. So
Right,
now you're 10 fights in. Now you can give your son that tidbit that you seen 6 fights ago. Oh shit,
right.
I remember that. Look, son, do this, whoopie whoop, based on what I know about you, what this dude is showing us. And that kind of grow together relationship that all of the father son training duos don't have. I think Lopez and his dad don't really have that. You know what I mean? I think they have more of a protective father son situation, and I'm gonna make sure my dad is close so I can take care of my dad. It could be reversed. It might not always be the son the dad pulling the son along. It could be the son keeping the father close so the father don't, you know, just kind of don't have a position or whatever. So what I mean, it could be a reverse protection situation. So that's a tricky thing to have, and it's definitely difficult behind the scenes because again,
Yeah,
that's still your father. You feel
yeah,
me?
yeah.
You might be
Facts.
undefeated boxer and knockout artist, but that's still your father.
Exactly. Exactly. Good point. Good point. In this corner podcast, he said, "I'm just glad the top rank didn't put any more fights on a Wednesday. Next week we got Shakur Stevenson versus Artem, and hopefully Shakur puts on a better performance." I'm legend. I'm not against the Wednesday fight. It's just I don't want top rank doing it. If Pro Box TV does it, I'm cool with that.
But it's about the holiday, bro. That's what that's about.
Right,
It's about the
right,
holiday. So you
right.
gotta
So
take that in consideration.
yeah, but I'm not.
So it's
I'm
actually
actually a
smart
fan of the Wednesday fight because I'm like you
because
really
people gonna actually have that day off.
yeah,
People
and they're
get
gonna
that two
tune
day
in.
sort of scenario.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's actually smart promoting by them, and
yeah,
they're not spending a lot of money because it's Wednesday. They're
yeah,
not
for
paying
sure.
that Prime Friday rate or whatever. You know how that goes with the broadcasting scenario. Different days of Prime. Mondays Prime. Friday, Saturday. Those are the Prime days that you
Yeah.
more likely have to pay more money to get your programming on.
Okay. No, definitely great points, man. Derek Wiltz in the building. Big shout out to you, bro. He said, "Who y'all got? Danny Jacobs or Mosley Jr.?"
Jacob,
Can I get at this one first?
it's easy for me. Go ahead.
You know what? You go first because I'm kind of curious of your answer. Go ahead.
Mosley don't have the power to kind of make Jacob do what he wants Jacob to do. So it's going to be a fight that Jacob's going to control. He's going to punch when he wants to punch. If Mosley forces the fight, to me, that's going to open him up for counters, things like that. And I think he has the chin. Let's just be honest. He definitely has the worst chin between the two. So and then you're dealing with an OG crafty kind of a Bernard Hopkins style guy that's going to kind of stay out of danger a little bit, not let the youngster get off too much. We're younger fighters. I wouldn't call him a youngster like that, but he's a younger fighter. I don't think he's going to let him get his name off. Like you're not going to step on me. I think it's a good fight for the OG. You know what I mean, solid fight. Might catapult him into a bigger fight if he can get a win off another solid name, recognizable name.
Definitely good fight. Definitely good fight for both guys. Danny Jacobs is a guy that
But
I think
hold on, cause real quick before you go, isn't this the style of fight we asked her for uh
for Nico,
Ali?
for Nico, yeah,
Same
exactly,
this
exactly.
is exactly what I said earlier.
Facts, facts. This is exactly the type fight. Um, with Danny Jacobs, Danny, let's just say he hasn't been like. First of all, his name is Ice Cold in these boxing streets. Let's get that out the way. But I think he would probably tell you like he's the reason why his name is Ice Cold in these streets. You have a couple of PBC guys, and what I'm getting ready to say is nothing wrong with this. It's nothing wrong with this. You have some fighters that they've enjoyed the fruits of their labor. I think it's safe to say Danny Jacobs is one of those guys, and again, that's nothing wrong with that. But with that being said, Danny Jacobs is not an active fighter. Um, he's not an active fighter. Can off the top of your head, when the last time you seen him fight?
A couple years ago.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Um, I don't know. Danny Jacobs on paper, just the type of fighter you would say Danny Jacobs. Shane Mosley Jr. has improved drastically over the last two
Now, just
years.
can one real quick on that improvement, you got to go volume for Mosley because we know Jacob is very selective. You know, he kind of
Correct.
recognized over punching himself in that Canelo fight. And ever
Yeah.
since then, he's kind of been real selective with his punches.
Yeah, and Shane Mosley Jr. Like you've seen, like you can actually watch his last 3, 4 fights. You can actually see the improvement fight to fight. With this fight, because I haven't seen Danny Jacobs in so long, I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with Mosley over Jacobs. If
Now
Jacobs,
that I look at it, I agree with that. I kind of agree with that based on two reasons.
Mhm.
Mosley can win in two different fashions. He can either try to outpunch Jacobs with the overwhelming, maybe just the not everything don't have to land, but just because you're working harder, that's going to lean towards for the judges. And then I think he can outbox him using his length, something that he rarely does, but it's possible because he's a lean 154. He's not no stocky, you know, I mean, come and run you over type of 150 F 150 truck type of dude. So
Right.
he could box a little bit, maybe try to try to make he got to set the fight. He can't let Jacob set the fight, but Jacob being a veteran, these guys know how to set the pace for the fight. What style fight we gonna have? Whether we gonna be clinching early and clinching late and clinching in the middle, you gonna
Right.
find that out from a veteran. So I. If Mosley's the underdog, he has the better value. That's for sure. But if he's the favorite, I would have to go Jacobs just for the
Yeah,
value.
we gonna have to check the betting
Check
lines
the
on that.
odds on that. Yeah,
Kind of
for sure,
curious.
for sure.
I'm kind of curious on that one. But Derek Wills, that was a great question. Great question. I mean, yeah, if Danny Jacobs is gonna walk in there, you know, thinking it's sweet, he gonna lose. But if Danny Jacobs is
He
coming
can't
back,
be selected.
nah, if he's coming with
Cannot.
intentions of getting back in the trenches, then yeah, you would favor Jacobs. It's really how
You know
Jacobs
what he
to
reminds?
the fight.
You know what he reminds me of? What's the boy from Jamaica that had to run real late in his career? Um, man, you know my boy, man. Damn, I keep Gerald McCullough keep coming to my name, but it's not McCullough. It's Gerald. What's the other boy? The Jamaican boy with the bald head, brick head, motherfucker, and end up. I think he beat Tarver. He beat. Did he beat
Oh, you
Royce?
talking about Glenn? You talking about Glenn Johnson?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he's
in
one.
that
That's
sort of position.
175. Yeah, Glenn Johnson.
No, I'm just not saying weight. I'm just talking about position
Oh,
and
just
in,
I
in the
got you.
career wise.
I got you. I
Career,
got
he's in a position that he could possibly go on a run and getting maybe snatch a belt. You know what I mean?
you.
Possibly.
Yeah,
I think that if he what does he show in this fight is a big question on whether he could put something together because again he does have a recognizable name. He's gonna
yeah,
work with different promotions across his career, so he's probably not a guy that's hard to finalize a deal with. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah. Understood.
So and
I got
and again, man, it's not a 50-50 fight, but I think you got to go with who, like I said, whoever has more value bet wise.
you. Yeah. No, I feel you, bro. I feel you. Justin Falzone, big shout out to you. He said, "I'm trying to break into the fight game." Um, I guess my question to you would be, in what capacity? Are you a fighter? Are you a promoter? Are you a trainer? Are you in the
Media,
space? What? How are you trying to break into the fight game? Definitely follow us both on social media. Subscribe to the channel. Um,
yeah, I'm gonna be back posting this week, man. I had a surgery to deal with, so I was off the gram this week, but I'm
okay.
gonna be back posting.
Okay.
Boots fight coming up. Definitely
Yes.
gonna do some analyzation on
Yeah.
that one. And just
And
just expect some great posts coming from Boxing First Blog on IG. And
for
me
sure.
and Justin definitely gonna get to that Blunt Truth segment hopefully this
Yeah,
week. We just
this
gotta
week for
quick sync
sure.
our schedules.
Yes, that'll be you'll see at least two episodes of that this week. For sure. We'll definitely get them dropped. In this corner podcast, it was against Gabe Rosado, I think, and people felt he lost. If that's his last fight, then that really goes to my point.
Now, I think he had
That
one
was
after
a
that, but
long time
it,
ago.
I think he had one after that, but it was at like 160, and I think
Yeah,
it was
that's a
against a
long
European
time
dude,
ago.
and he lost. He lost.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, it was he did. It was a fight he won too. He actually
yeah.
won that fight, and they took him
He
off.
actually won the
I
fight,
think he
right?
knew he was fighting. Yeah,
Yeah. Because I remember Rosado came on real strong at the end of that fight,
but we're not.
which he
That
usually does.
neither one of them was doing anything. That was
Yeah,
that, that was
that was a
probably one of the worst fights from recognizable name. And
yeah,
Rosado
that
was
was a
on a
paint.
run too at the time.
Yeah, that
That
was a
was
paint.
terrible.
A paint dry type fight for sure.
That was
Uh,
like watching. You remember when the TV used to go off back in the day? They used to go to the snow. That's like
Yeah,
watching
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That was terrible.
You right. Justice said fighter cruiserweight. Okay, okay, okay. He said I got some clips up on my channel. I've been sub for a minute. Um, Justin, let's do this. Can you
Where
holler
you
at
at?
on
Yeah, where you at?
yeah, like I'm G5 Jeff TV on Instagram. I don't know if you have an Instagram, but if you do, let's talk. Let's talk on Instagram. Let me know what your YouTube channel is too, so we can sub to that. Definitely anybody that sub to us, we want to sub right back. And yeah,
Oh,
we
for
can we
sure.
can have a
For sure.
conversation. I don't. I guess I would want to know where are you from, things like that. He said he said I don't got IG. Okay, so
You gotta have IG as a boxer.
as
That's
a
part of
boxer,
self
you gotta
promotion.
have IG, bro.
Part of self
Um,
promotion.
YT channel is just my name. You can click on it there. Okay, so what I'll do is
All you gotta do is the same thing for IG.
yeah, you gotta do the same thing. You gotta open up an IG, bro. Definitely gotta open up an
Definitely.
IG. So Justin Falzone. So I'll remember that name, and I'll check your YouTube channel out, and then we can kind of just go from there. But that's step number one. Gotta have the
Do you
social
have a
medias,
trainer?
bro. Gotta have the social medias. Do you have any type of social media? Let me ask that.
Yeah,
Um,
he said he got the YouTube. That's a
yeah,
good
YouTube.
start.
I'm talking
But
about something other than YouTube though. Does he have?
yeah, IG
Yeah,
is more to promote to get fans to know who you are because you want people to pay to come see you.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
self promote in this era.
It's
This
a
is
lot
not
more
you
than
ain't
just
depending
jumping
on the
in the
Don
ring,
King.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
for
you gotta
sure.
be out there shaking hands and picking up the babies. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Don't be kissing nobody.
Justin, if you have an email, if you have an email, put it in the chat. I'll jot the email down. I can email you my information, and we can kind of go from there. Um, let me see.
You got a trainer. I mean, because I know how to
Yeah, I
box.
got I got
You
questions,
know,
bro. I got questions. So
man,
yeah,
I'll tell you what to do with them knuckles.
yeah, for sure. So let me see. Said I know I'm supposed to. Yeah, yeah, we'll definitely drop your email if you have it in there. We can kind of go from there. Let's get into Bam versus
Yes,
Estrada. That
can
was a good
hold up.
fight.
Can we talk about man? Can we talk about that? Was in the backyard too. They say
Yeah,
the folks showed up. Oh, salute to the essays, man. They definitely support their fighters, man. They showed up. It was in my backyard, in my hand in the valley. So everybody know that by now. But that being said, though, it was a great fight. Great fight. My thing after a fight like that, you the only thing for most fighters, what the fuck is next, my dude? Like what where can this young boy go? Because this motherfucker only 24, 25 years old, bro. Where can this dude go? Is he a potential for Inui or Ionu or however you pronounce his name? Like, you know what I mean? Like to me, like you gotta strike while the iron's hot.
yeah.
I think if you
Man,
put
that was
weight on this type of dude, that's just going to intensify his power.
hey, bro. It's
That's like
listen, bro.
somebody like Tank.
Yeah, I listen. That was a great fight, man. Like that was a great fight. Big shout out to Estrada too. That was
Oh yeah,
just that's what you want to see with two top guys, two top names. Decide we gonna go in and we gonna
generational difference
fight.
too. You know what I
Yes,
mean? You talking about
yes,
a decade, you know, life
yeah,
experiences, and the young boy was able to, you know what I mean, just overwhelm me, man. Just kind of deal with his power, deal. I think Estrada found it difficult to land on that southpaw. He landed that left hand and left straight, but he wasn't using an angle. What's the name was at the wrong angle at that time, and he ate it.
yeah. Every
Estrada wasn't
time
able to use
Bam,
the angles.
yeah, every time Bam got Estrada in trouble, man, he made sure his feet was placed where it needed to be. He had the angle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Before he
that's
started
what the
punching,
difference was with me.
that's what the
And
difference
then
was.
obviously the power, then the power came
Yeah,
through. Once you could set your feet. and you stronger, then you're in a dominant position and
And
pretty
people
much
gotta
the most part.
realize the feet are so important, man. Like the feet are so important because not only are you getting the angle to actually get your shots off and prevent your opponent from being able to get leverage on their shots, then you actually have a better opportunity to turn your guy and make them reset so you can slide out the back door safely. The feet is the key.
What you know what that's called? That's called defense. And that's what these dudes that can punch, Tank, Estrada, Ione, these type of guys, they're not getting respect for their boxing ability also because it takes understanding of the game. You can put yourself in position to land these killer shots, bro. So boxing is always the base to all this great work that these dudes are saying. So this dude on a boxing pound for pound list to me has jumped up into a sixth, possibly fifth position. Great work over the last couple years, undefeated, definitely eating up the limelight that he's able to get as a smaller dude. But people remember these fights when you make statements like that. You understand what I'm saying? So definitely a pay-per-view guy. Definitely can bring the fans out. Got already got a natural base. You know what I mean? And you giving them reason to turn out. Bro, this dude probably, you know what I'm saying, next up. You know what I mean? As far as that 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 Latin fighter, that Garcia, Ryan Garcia, quote unquote, that style fighter. You know what I mean? Definitely on pound for pound list. He up on mine. He was at about 9, maybe. I had him at 9. I think was it 10? It was 9-10 in my last one from a month ago that I did personally my own. I didn't put it out
Yeah.
on social media. And I just put out my recent one. Y'all can check it out. It's up. I just did it recently on the gram. So
Okay.
y'all go ahead and hit that. Jump in the comments. Tell me what y'all think. Yeah, I mean, I ain't
Okay.
putting no number on nobody. I'll let y'all do
Right.
that.
You just
I
drop
just
name.
put them there. Yeah, that's mine. That's
Okay.
me. Honorable mention to my dude Boots, but he wasn't in there. Just
I
be
feel you.
honest.
That's surprising to me, but I gotta check it out.
Because the
I gotta check it out.
activity,
I
the
gotta check it out.
activity.
No, I feel you.
You know what I mean?
I gotta check it out. Um, Let me see. Justin dropped a couple joints in here. He said, I don't got IG. I'm not the youngest. He said, thanks for the IG advice. I supposed to. He said, I started when I was 16 at Middletown PAL, but damn, Police Athletic League. He said, I'm 38 now. I've been keeping up with it, trained with Freddie Boynton. Okay. And sparred Thomas Adamic. Um, Thomas Adamic,
That's a
definitely
name.
respectable. Yeah, that's definitely a name for
Respectable name.
sure. We didn't know his name. His trainer brought him around a bunch of different gyms to find work. I didn't want to be a fighter, but it seems like life is like, nah, now is your time. I played at college ice hockey too. I got the legs, I got the toughness, I got the power. And this is my email. So Justin, if you want to jot that down,
Ain't
definitely
that
jot that
that
down.
ain't is that that's PA, right?
Yeah, that's PA. That's
Middletown, that's PA.
PA.
But how far? I forget how far that's from Philly though.
Yeah, that's either PA or Delaware. Middletown is Delaware. I know Middletown is
You think?
Delaware, unless there's another Middletown that I'm
Okay.
not familiar with.
I think we had a Middletown because I remember riding that R5 train and going through a
Yeah,
Middletown, but
he might be on the
it could have been.
outskirts. Might be on the
Yeah, it could have.
outskirts
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. But yeah, Bam is a generational type talent at that smaller weight class. I mean, we're
And
talking.
be honest, do you think he can not eclipse, but kind of get to a Garcia style levels on the social side?
I don't think so. I don't think so. They're more of a hardcore. They're more of a kind of like a hardcore type. They don't pay as much attention to the, like the popularity game. Like they're popular in terms of like their nationality, their, you know what I'm saying, like just their fan base. Period. But Garcia kind of goes in a different direction. He's kind of a rare breed. In terms of his marketing and things like that. But
I
Bam
don't
is
know
a
if he's rare because Garcia did the same thing that De La Hoya did. Use that pretty
but
boy sort of.
yeah, but the
I'm a
thing is,
tweener. I could be a white boy. I could be Mexican. You know what I mean? That's I think they use that to their advantage.
They did. They both
But I
did.
get what you're
But
saying. But
Oscar was so legit as a fighter. Where with Ryan, it's more commercial. Where Oscar could give you
I mean,
commercial,
I don't.
and he can be in the trenches.
Ryan does have skills, bro. Ryan does have skills. Now, how he's managing those skills, eating, this space meat and, drinking that goddamn asteroid juice, that's different. But I think to per se say he is no De La Hoya with the skills, but definitely got a better hook than De La Hoya had. So
Whoa,
gotta say he got some kind of skills.
hold
He
on. You
got a
saying
way better
Ryan?
hook than De
You,
La Hoya had.
you saying Ryan
Yes, he has
Garcia's
a
hook was better than De La Hoya's hook? Prime?
yes, yes,
Bro, you
yes,
tripping,
yes.
bro. You tripping, bro. You
Yeah,
tripping,
man, speed and power. You
bro.
talking about speed and power?
You
This
tripping,
dude left
bro.
hook is bananas, bro.
I
Now,
understand,
outside the juice. Come on now. Oh, that's a
bro.
great question. I'm putting that on
Bro,
Instagram tomorrow.
De La
I'm
Hoya,
putting
De
that
La
up on the
Hoya
gram
has
tomorrow.
De La Hoya had one of the classic hooks that you're gonna find, just period. Like
I don't
his
think
hook is
he hit.
legendary, bro. His hook is legendary, bro. I know
Oh,
Ryan got nice speed on his hook and everything, but De La Hoya
double
in
left hook, man. A double left hook from Ryan Garcia compared from De La Hoya. I'm taking De La Hoya's all day. Let me take De La Hoya's. I'm not taking Ryan Garcia's double left hook from the body to the head. It's too fast. First of all, you're gonna miss one of them. You're not blocking both. De La Hoya, you subject to be able to clip the left hook to the body and definitely block the left hook to the head because it doesn't have the same speed.
is but the thing is that with De La Hoya, he camouflages his hook so well to where once he throws it, you can even anticipate it, and you still getting clipped by it. I think the thing with Ryan is Ryan hasn't maximized his physical talent. Like he has a lot of physical talent,
No
but he
doubt.
doesn't do a lot of the smaller
I
things.
just specified that one thing that I had to kind of negate and argue with you against. It's just that one thing. Everything else you just said, I no way I can argue with you. And that he just stuff he hasn't improved on footwork, foot placement, a lot of these basic stuff because he's depended so much on the raw, quote unquote, natural talent, which is his speed and power. And
Yeah,
that has to be recognized to me if you isolate that one thing as
yeah,
far as that one punch, that one hand, it's better than De La Hoya's. And that De La Hoya's is promoter. I think De La Hoya recognized that was like, yo, we taking that left hand and we gonna run with this motherfucker. Now
yeah. I mean,
the the,
Ryan
the
Garcia has a
Reynoso
great
pack
look.
that they had mailed to him, I'm not in support of that. Because I don't think
Yeah.
he went and picked it up. I think it was mailed. UPS dropped that off, and UPS is wrong for that.
Yeah, I think Ryan Garcia, like he has a really good hook. He has a really good hook. Um, Ryan Garcia, just as a fighter, you have some guys that have all the physical talent in the world, and they don't have um, the old school type teachings. When it comes down to just developing as a fighter, you take he gives me Amir Khan vibes. Physically just really, really, really talented, but he just never learned the ins and outs, the craftiness of boxing to help maximize that physical talent. Like when I look at Ryan Garcia, I think of Amir Khan. Like, and that's why Amir Khan really couldn't get
That no,
those
no,
top
no,
guys.
stop. That is so to me that's disrespectful because I get what you're saying as far as tools. But one thing that's not something you can teach is having a fucking chin, bro. So I'm
No, but
I'm gonna go with
that's two separate topics though. I'm talking
no,
about
but at the
I
same
ain't talking about the
but
chin. We
in,
know about the chin.
but in comparison as boxers, still comparing them as boxers. And having a chin is part of the game. This
No, but I'm
dude
comparing
chin.
them offensively though.
Okay.
I
All
know
right.
where I
At
know
least
where
we
you
sticking with
going. I'm
offense.
just saying I'm comparing them offensively. Offensively, they haven't they never reached their peak because they don't know the craftiness offensively to where they could maximize that physical talent. Like I'll give you an example, right? Um, with Amir Khan, like if this is baseball, he don't throw no curveballs. He don't throw no change ups. He's not throwing no sliders. Everything's
You
a
know
fast.
what he is? Yeah, he's definitely somebody that going like if you at first and he trying to pitch it to home, he gonna miss home because his range he was somebody that never recognized range, especially from a defensive mindset. Because if you recognize range, then you already know this is a dangerous situation. I either got to step in, I got to step out, I got to keep high, I got to reach, I got to step off the line. It's something that you do when you recognize range that helps you set the range. Either I'm in range to get off or I'm in range to get hit on. So, you know what I mean? Like that's what I remember about his career. So thinking
Yeah.
offensively, he never recognized range properly.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I would never compare them to like defensively. I mean, Amir Khan is just a anomaly. Come down to defense and chin. You know what I mean? Justin said Middletown, New Jersey is by Sandy Hook. It's like the Kevin Smith Clerks area. Okay. Yeah, Jersey do got a Middletown. Um, just said the quick stop is like 5-10 minutes from my house. He said Garcia is quick as fuck. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, with Ryan, you could just tell. Like, I will say this about Ryan Garcia, he, take away the super juice and stuff like that. Hey, bro, I gotta ask you this because we gonna close this thing out in a minute, bro. There are fighters that's coming out. I think Andre Durrell came out. Um, what's my man that fight it on Golden Boy at 147? His dad is his trainer. Um,
Mason, something like that.
no. He's a black fighter. He used to be with I know Rick
Ford.
Ross was his manager. What's my man name?
Uh,
His father came out. Basically, this is my question. You have some fighters coming out now basically stating even though Ryan Garcia was on the space juice, that Devin Haney still should have been skilled enough to take away the hook of Ryan Garcia, and it shouldn't have. Their fight still shouldn't have been like that, even though Ryan Garcia is on the juice. I was hearing this and I was kind of just I was shocked to hear like actual pro boxers and people in the game actually making that assertion. Like, what's your thoughts on that? Like, have you heard that, or
I
have
think
you?
I haven't heard that, but I wouldn't say that's something that's untrue to have heard. So I would definitely not say people would feel that way because if you really break down the fight, like I was trying to say a couple of lives ago, he was winning some rounds, so he didn't like it, just from round one to round 10, kind of like how Teofimo's opponent was. You just lost every round, so yeah, you kind of sort of just got beat up a little bit, but he didn't get he got knocked out. It was a shot that I think he got overconfident, tried to come forward more than he was boxing off the back foot, and he ran into one. Because if you look at it, he was stationary. He wasn't he bad range, like sort of kind of like what happened with Jorge. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're in that bad range, and somebody get off. It kind of what happens in boxing. You know what I mean? But to me, his chin would have stood up if it wasn't for the extra juice.
Yeah, it's and you know what? And I just wanna add on to that.
Because
Technically,
all boxers did. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, like technically, yes, he couldn't get away from the hook, right? And I'm talking, he got hit with the hook within the first 15 seconds of the fight, right? The thing about it is Ryan Garcia doesn't deserve any type of benefit of the doubt. I can say, what I need to say as far as Devin Haney and not being able to get away from the hook for a good amount of times in that fight. But because the super juice was involved, I'm not giving Ryan Garcia any type of credibility when it come down to that. I'm just not. I'm
This
just not.
this what you saying is you can't argue against Devin Haney, but in your argument you're giving Ryan Garcia credit.
Correct. Yes. Yes. Exactly.
That's what
I'm
you
not.
basically saying.
Yeah.
So anybody that
Exactly.
does that,
Because you got to think about it. If the space juice is involved, right? You get hit with a clean hook within the first 15, 20 seconds of the fight. Your legs are gone, and now you have to recover. So you got to actually look at it like this. Devin Haney fought somebody that had the space juice in his system, right? He got knocked down several times. He got up every single time. I think we don't give fighters enough credit for getting up. Um, we don't give them enough credit for getting up. Then you have to factor this in. What Vlog said, Haney won a good amount of rounds. He won a good amount of rounds. Like he Haney didn't check his ego at the door. He didn't check
that's
his
what I said.
ego.
He got overconfident.
Yeah, he didn't check his ego at the door. Like he
That
tried to.
now that's where we could get on Bill because we would have to go back to see what Bill's information was for them
Oh,
last two rounds.
oh, I could tell you his information. I could tell you his information. His information for Devin Haney, and this was when he went on a run where he won a couple rounds in a row because it was a point of that fight. Devin Haney was up a good amount of points. It was the knockdowns that got Garcia to win basically. But the thing with Devin Haney is he was told in the corner, he said, "Hey, go start walking him down. Go get him." That's
That's
I
my
I
point.
I was like, you don't tell him that. You don't you
No,
like
because
you
he's
don't
not a
tell him
killer. He's not a killer.
not a killer. Like he
They were
basically
taking the shit too personal.
yeah, he basically told Devin Haney to go into sparring mode on him. Because Devin Haney's a killer in sparring. You don't ever see that in his fights. He's a killer in sparring. Like straight up. A straight killer in sparring. Straight dog. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm gonna say this: that headgear mean a lot to when it comes to taking punches. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what
bigger
I'm saying.
gloves and headgear. Yeah,
Yeah, you can't tell.
you could be.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Derek Wills. Big shout out to you, bro. Floyd Schofield. That's what I'm talking about. Floyd Schofield, his dad came out and basically said, even though, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, even though Ryan Garcia was on that space juice, Devin Haney still should have went in there and did what he was supposed to do. And I
You
was
know
just
what
like,
that's telling me? You
uh-huh.
that's a dad that's overconfident. This is new era. A parent in this new era of not being rational and looking at the landscape. Like I think Schofield, if he let his dad walk his career, he might put him in danger early. So
Yeah, I
expect
yeah,
that. If he gonna talk like that, that's
I
don't let
if
him pick your
I find
fights.
it, if I find the clip, bro, I'm gonna send it to you, bro. I was so shocked. I gotta send you that and the Andre Darrell one. I was really, really shocked that they put that out. Now, if you think that way just on a private setting, then cool. But
Darrell
to
is
put
not
that out
somebody
there,
that not the way he got knocked out by a left hook. He is not somebody that should be, what I mean, speaking on that shit.
yeah, I can't. Yeah, I'm like, I can't validate anything with Ryan Garcia name on it because of the space juice. I just can't. I can't. Now, I'm like, now with Devin Haney, does he need to um I think he just needs to check his ego at the door going into fights. Like we've
Bro,
seen.
I'm hearing we can real quick. Let's take this last five. You think this boy should go to 147? We hearing 147 from Teofimo. You think Devin Hayden should go to 147? Because I think that would be the fight that they're gonna make.
Um I just I don't think he should go to 47, because this reason.
They said he
If
struggled.
he,
He struggled. They said he struggled. I
well,
heard that from two or three people. Porter and them talk about him. You know what I mean? Being tight at 140.
well, here's his problem. If he's struggling to make 140, number one, you got to ask: is that for? And this for Devin Haney, like, is that something that can be corrected? Are you 175, 180 going into camp? Are you having a fat camp? Like, you got to ask yourself that question. Then the second
I
thing
think no.
is,
No,
mhm,
I got to rebut that real quick. I think at some point your body is going to say no because we're used to growing. No one, we don't grow in reverse until we hit a certain peak in our age years where our bodies start to really decline and bones get smaller and blah blah blah. But as
well,
we, so that's what I'm asking. Is he at the point where the body's saying like, nah, bro,
I don't
uh,
think so. I really don't. I really don't think so. I think he's coming into camp just too heavy. I just think he's gaining too
no,
much.
I'm gonna be, I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna use, I asked that and I rebut with that because I think a girl at some point, 47 is just, it's got to be your cutoff. And I think that showed in a superior fighter in Crawford, the weight and the, you know what I mean, the drain and everything he went through. It just, 47. It's a
I
wrap.
well, I'll respond to it this way. If Devin Haney is body saying no to 140 and he has to go to 147, then he's gonna have a lot of problems at 147. Because I don't forget what fighters say. And Devin Haney complained about Brian Garcia being 160 or 160 plus. What you think them welterweights gonna be at 147 when they rehydrating? They're gonna be about
Yeah,
probably
but that's
147.
this, that's this particular fight. So at 147, again, you're in a position to pick your fights. You know what I'm saying? You're automatically in a titleist sort of position coming from from undisputed a second division champ. Now you in a third division. I think you're already in the title picture. You could pick your fights, and things like that will be a factor for that fight. Like, yo, bro, this is, you know, these are things you have to put in contract, and you have to kind of bicker back and forth, not bicker, but kind of hash back and forth over.
Yeah, I don't like Haney right now. I wouldn't suggest him to go to 47. I just wouldn't do that. Me personally, I wouldn't do that. Because
I
his
mean,
power
you
has
know.
been questioned at 35 and 40. So at
But
47,
and so
margin for
again,
error is going to
we
be really, really slim.
no, don't do that. Don't do that about the power because why has that been a factor? And he's been on a 5 fight run, and
Well, I just
I'm
said
just
that the
saying,
power is questioned.
yeah. But you're doing that, and we hadn't did that in the past 5 fight run. Like, well, he didn't power through the fight. He didn't land enough power punches. He didn't. We never were saying any of that. He didn't KO nobody, but everybody knows your everything goes downhill a little bit when it comes to your power if you have shoulder problems. Same thing gonna happen with with the boy Ali as he goes forward. That's why I suggested him shortening up that hook. If that's
Well,
gonna be a punch in his arsenal as he goes forward after rehab and whatever he has to go through, definitely shorten that hook up.
Well, that's the main reason why I said what I said as far as Devin Haney's concerned. Like, you got to factor in the shoulder, the previous shoulder issue as well. I think even at
But
100%, his
but
power.
at 147, I think at 147 he brings more boxing than he will bring power to that division.
Right, but your margin for error is a lot smaller when you go up in weight and you don't have the
You
power.
know why? You know why it's smaller? Because you might have to face the wrong guy. But if you're in a position as Haney and you're the A side, you pick that right guy. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
Because
that's
at
like if
140, the difference at 140. there's really no guys to pick. These are all guys who probably at this point in time coming off this situation with Garcia. You don't want to face a Paro. You don't probably want to face a Pulo, but I give him a shot at against a Pulo. But it's just rough. It's deep waters. It's deep waters at 140.
Yeah, I think he should just stay at 140. You know, do what you got to do to make the weight. But I think he should just stay at 140 and really go from there. If he goes to 47, maybe another year or two. If you want to go up to 47, cool. But you talking 47, you talking boots Ennis, and you know that boots Ennis fights at 47. He could easily fight at 54 or 60. Them 147 guys is they're coming in the fights at 170. So I'm like, if you're complaining about Ryan coming in at 160, 162, something like that, you gonna have issues at welterweight because them guys is coming in at 170 plus on fight night.
But bro, anything you do has principle in it. So in his complaint, you have to go and support the complaint because dude didn't even make the regular weight. So if you made the regular weight, then you could kind of argue with Haney, you kind of being a little bit chippy a little bit. This motherfucker didn't make the regular weight, so all this other extra added weight is just supporting his original gripe. So yeah, I again gotta argue against you with that one.
Well, the thing about that though, bro, he had extra weight, but if he goes up to 47, them guys is gonna have that extra weight naturally. That's my point. I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying
Yeah.
at 147, he's gonna be consistently fighting guys on fight night over 170 pounds.
So what you think Haney walking around at? I think my belief,
He
just
walk,
my
bro.
personal belief.
He, what's your walk around weight?
Me, I'm like 190 right now, but I'm an
He
OG,
probably
bro.
walk.
I ain't
He
out
probably
here
walks
working out
around.
every day either.
He walks around probably like 180, bro. He probably. You can look at
That's
his
what I
pictures.
was
You can tell
thinking
he's
too.
about 180.
So that's what I'm saying. So 180 is your natural weight eating, your regular foods type of thing, not your training meals or whatever. So
Hmm.
if you lose that, I think you keep your natural ability, which is being able to box, set the pace, fight when you want to fight, and just continue to stay out of danger, which you've been able to do until you ran into a guy that was on that Voltron juice. Just kind of, it's like,
Yeah,
pushing a truck up a hill. How who gonna do that?
right. No, I feel. Listen, I feel it's an interesting topic because you just don't know. You just don't know how a person's going to translate from 40 to 47. That's a 7 pound difference, and you just don't know how a guy's gonna be. I mean, hell, take David Benavidez. People think he normal now after watching him fight at 175. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's a 7 pound jump. That 7 pound jump is a mofo, for real. So
But
I
that,
I
but
mean,
that's,
mm,
I mean, to me, I think Benavidez is more of a thing of when you trying to become a pay-per-view support guy, cause a lot of work throughout the buildup of that pay-per-view that I think hurt him in camp, in which it has affected other guys and other events throughout the history of boxing. And we'd be a lie to say that type of stuff doesn't affect guys. Press work and this modern, especially at this modern era, you got online and you got, book signings and this type of stuff. Well, not book signings, but t-shirt signings and things like that. So I think, and he's trying to become that, as you remember. The only way to become that is to be active.
yeah,
You understand what I'm
and
saying?
I
So
thought
I
I
think
thought David Benavidez did good in that fight. I didn't think he did bad in that fight.
early, no, he did good early, but later, where you got to remember, instead of being on the road, you had to sit there behind that desk. You
Yeah,
see what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's give and take a little bit. So around 11, 12, around 11, 12 was spent in front of that camera. So you kind of got to start learning how to balance that out. Now he's on the next level,
Yeah, so I
or
mean,
trying to get to that next level.
so with that being said, there's adjustments that had to be made. You know what I'm saying? If he's going
But
to stay at 175, there's adjustments that he's going to have to make,
but
at
I
that
don't think
weight.
we can. Yeah, and we missed talking about him on that after that tank fight. But that being said, I think those adjustments can be made by a guy that we know kind of turned the corner after
Oh
the
yeah,
situation he had.
for sure. Because it's he has the physical talent. David Benavidez doesn't get enough credit as far as his IQ inside of the ring. If you really sit and watch him, he makes adjustments in there. It's
Because
just
if you look
Haney,
at that fight,
it's really. I'm
yeah,
not saying that Haney can't survive at 147. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he can't be successful at 147. All I'm saying is because of Haney and the power is not necessarily there, he has to fight. He has less of a margin to make errors. Where with Benavidez, he would have more of an opportunity to make mistakes and recover versus a Haney at 147 and him recovering from mistakes at 47. Them 47 mistakes and 40 mistakes, two different types of mistakes. You know what I mean? Because you're getting hit by the big, a bigger guy. I mean, of course, I'm curious to see it. Of course, but I mean, if he feel like his body is not responding to 140 and he got to go to 47, I mean, shoot, you got to listen to your body at the end of the day. You know what I mean? You got to listen to your body at the end of the day. So if that's something Haney want to do, if that's something Teofimo want to do, fine. But they got to
I
realize
wouldn't mind that matchup. I ain't gonna
running that
lie.
47.
Yeah, yeah, I run that at 147 to be nice.
Yeah,
For one of
it would
these
be nice.
quote unquote vacant belts. Ain't some of these belts here up for grabs now?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. That man, run that for one of these vacants. I like that. Three division champ. I like that resume. You know what I mean? Because he
Yeah, I ain't
definitely gonna beat
mad at it.
Teofimo.
Yeah, I ain't
Teofimo
mad at it at all.
ain't got a. I mean, he do got a chance, but not a puncher's chance. He just got a chance. Not he
Yeah,
definitely don't have a puncher's chance. But I like that
yeah,
matchup, my man. Check
I
check
think
me out on the gram tomorrow, man.
yeah,
I'm up posting early.
boots for the record, boots would mop the floor with both
I
them
mean,
guys.
we know that, but I'm talking about Haney is in a position to set that heat. So you can avoid that and still be a champ, bro. What the fuck? I'm doing that. It's on my resume. You can't take it off. And if the guy across the street is willing to come on up and dance with me, which I suspect is that fight that the Teofimo and them are looking for. They looking for that Haiti fight, and they trying to find a way to find it. 140 might not be the way, especially after the debacle. Now that Teofimo looked the way he looked, maybe he couldn't wait and can't dance like he wanted to, so he played the back and let dude
Yeah,
come forward the whole fight, which was
yeah.
weird to me. Like
I mean,
so,
it's a possibility. It's a possibility for sure.
I suspect that's the next move. But go ahead, hit that chat, man, before we get out of
I got you. Justin said I told him to move up because kids weigh 140. um, Derek Wilt said Haney will have to be careful at 147. Guys like Mean Machine and Kraken. I'm not sure he beat Stan Jonas. Damn, that's a good fight.
He beat Stan Jonas because Stan Jonas don't have punch diversity.
I don't know if he beat Stan Jonas at
I think he
47.
beat Stan
I
Jonas
don't know.
at 47. I think he beat Stan Jonas. 'Cause Stan
Haney
Jonas,
beat Stan Jonas at 47.
I think he beat
I don't
Stan
know if I'm
Jonas at
signing up for
47.
that.
But to me, that's not a fight I would take because it's not a big fight. So that's a fight
But
that we can
if that's the
argue
person
about.
he got to fight, if that's the person he got to fight for the vacant, then he ain't calling all the shots at 147.
Stan Jonas only been last I remember, Stan Jonas only been ranked with IBF, so he's been always been a possible opponent for Boots, or at the time for Earl. So
Right.
I think what's the
Well,
name can go get the WBC or WBO or one of them, which
so
I think
you
he's more linked with the
so you think
WBO.
Haney would beat Stan Jonas at 47?
Yeah, I think Haney would be Stan
I'm
Jonas at
at a
47
poll. Yeah, I'm at a
because
poll.
you
I'm at a
have to
poll.
have punch diversity to beat somebody like Haney.
Yeah, I
And
would.
Stan Jonas is a jab straight punch fighter which that type of shit can be avoided. You can look at a Golovkin type of dude who times can be avoided because he just doesn't have angles. He doesn't punch off the back foot very well, things like that. So
Right.
I definitely think Stan Jonas can be out angled, outmaneuvered, jab, countered to death,
Yeah.
fainted on, just outboxed.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'll poll that on the gram. I don't know if I'm signing up for that. I don't know if he beats Daniels at 47. I don't know. I gotta think about that.
Um,
I gotta think about that.
yeah, I'm on
I
that
gotta think
on
about
that
that.
heavy.
Yeah, I gotta think
Yeah.
about that. Derek Wilt said Stan Jonas is a WBA champ. He will be upgraded soon. Yeah, I mean, listen, if Teofimo or Haney feels like 140, they've grown out of 140 and they want to go to 147. Go see Stan Jonas at 47.
See, my thing is, in a situation like this, you got to look at. There's a gap in ages with some of these guys at 47. They're kind of getting a little bit up there. Boots getting a little bit up
Agreed.
there.
I agree with that.
Stanionis getting a little bit up there. So you got a little bit fresher guys coming in. Never didn't get a lot of wear and tear through 35 through 40. And Teofimo and Haney. I think these guys can kind of put a little
Well,
splash in the water, just a little bit to make some big fights.
but
Because
Vlog,
147 has
if
to have the names.
if Teofimo or Devin Haney is for real at 47, then they should beat Stan Jonas. If they for real.
Yeah, but if you splashing and you kind of
But
make
who
some
can you
waves and
splash
go
at
grab that.
147? 147 kind of weak right
No,
now.
that no, but you want to come in and and grab a belt. And it to me, the WBO is the route.
Well, who's the WBO champ?
Currently, I'm unsure. That I don't want to argue. I won't. I don't want to get a misquoted on that. But
Because
the way it's
I
linked up because he still got connections with Bob and them, and still got that relationship open with them. And he's a former WBO champion, so they're gonna recognize him coming up in weight.
yeah, but the only
What's the
champion,
name
the
of the
only
current?
champion really at 47, Stan Jonas is a regular champ. He's going to be upgraded. Only other people you talking about technically is Bud and Boots.
Boots, Bud.
Oh,
That's the
Brian
thing.
Norman is
That
the WBO
fluctuates.
champ. Derek Wiltz, Brian Norman Jr. is the WBO champ.
Oh,
You think
he beating Brian Norman Jr.
you said Haney's beating Brian Norman Jr.?
Oh, easy, but that's not a big fight. So what they gonna have to
But
do
you
is, I
said
think,
but you said a splash for a belt. The key word is belt.
yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know. That's my thing. I did not
Okay.
know that they
Okay.
had a regular champ, recognized welterweight champ at WBO. I thought your boy technically still champ in recess
So let
in
me
a couple of them
let me run
belts.
three names. Let me run three names by you before we roll. Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. He beats Brian Norman.
Yeah,
Um, he beats San Jonas,
be staying on it.
and trying to think another name at 47. Hmm.
Probably,
Does he beat Barrios at 47?
probably. Oh, easy. That might you fuck around and catch a KO in that one. Fuck
Okay.
around
I
and I think he the WBA champ, ain't he? Barrios the WBA
no,
champ, so
Stan
that's a
Jonas is
belt
a
right there.
WBA. Stan
No,
Jonas
who
is a
said Barrios is
WBA.
somebody? WBC, WBC.
So okay, so Haney beats Brian Norman
Haney can
Jr.
beat
Stan Jonas.
three of the champions
Haney
right
beats
now.
Barrios right now at
Haney
47.
can beat three of the champions at 47.
I'm definitely polling that for sure. Said
Haney,
Barrios is
very good.
WBC. Derek will say Barrios is
That's what
WBC.
I said,
I
WBC.
so okay, so I'm gonna poll that on the gram for sure. I'll poll that on TikTok as well. I'm kind of curious to see what people think about that. Actually, maybe we can kind of touch on that as far as the Blunt Truth series. What can Haney possibly do at 47? Run down a couple names. We can kind of get maybe more in detail with
Yeah,
that, and that'll be a good one to maybe start.
stylistically wise and things like that. Yeah, that'd be a great,
Yeah,
great way to
that'll be
start
a
off.
good. I think that'll be a good way to start the
What day you
series.
talking about right now? On
Uh,
your schedule
Maybe
today.
Wednesday. What? How about Wednesday?
When we want to do two, so what you talking about?
One
Wednesday and
Wednesday, one
Friday?
Thursday.
Not back to back. We want to let them soak a little bit.
No, I'm talking
So,
about when it. I'm talking about when to record them. We can
oh
drop
yeah,
them.
yeah. Wednesday,
We can
Thursday,
drop
good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wednesday, Thursday, good.
them. Derek Wood said, "My
Thursday.
man, blunt confident in Haney at 47. I'm not sure, my good brother. I'm not. I'm Derek. I'm not 100% sure either. But we going. That's probably going to be our first episode of the Blunt Truth series. Haney possibly at 47. What can he do? Who can he beat? What kind of run can he make at 147, man? So I think we gonna jump up off this joint, man. Hour 32 minutes strong. Big shout out to Ty Finney, the legend. He couldn't make it in today, but definitely go to his channel, subscribe to his channel. Big shout out to VP Shane, man. He couldn't make it in either. Definitely go to his IG, go follow him. He's on another show as well, so definitely support that. Vlog, let them know what your IG is, man.
I'm boxing first vlog the way you see it on your screen. I'm on the gram, man. Check out my new post. It's gonna be in the morning, all throughout the week, and definitely check for the Blunt Truth to pop on my channel this week. Get me back active, and it's gonna be a new little series, man. Just gonna be doing really diving into some key fights and some real topics, and just kind of being a little bit more honest, so to speak, than we are with the cats who kind of back and forth right now. Yes, I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
for sure, man. Follow me all over the place, man. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or X, TikTok, everything G5 Jeff TV. The Blunt Truth series first episode should be out this upcoming Wednesday. It'll be on my channel. It'll be on Vlogs channel as well, where we're just gonna get in depth about some things, and it's just a new series, man. Just a new series. You know what I mean? So definitely follow us on the gram as well. If you want to message us, please do so. Justin said, enjoy your Sunday, gents. Big shout out to you, bro. If you want to reach out, man, you got the email. Go ahead and reach out, and we kind of go from there, man. So, on behalf of your boy G5 Jeff TV, man, BFV Boxing First Vlog, aka Blunt, VP Shane, Ty Finney the Legend, man. We will see you guys next Sunday, but the Blunt Truth series will be starting this week around Wednesday, Thursday. Salute.
Hey.